for sure. But again, putting points on the board every drive is the way it's got to be for us. That's got to be our standard.
Coach,
you were balanced offensively in that 205 yards rushing, 300 yards passing, 505 yards offense. I mean, it was very, hand in hand, very complementary. You got that running game going, the passing game as well.
That's how you want it to look. You want to be able to play with the lead, empty your playbook in that regard, and be really balanced on first and second down. And again, our guys allowed us to do that. They put us in that position. Joe and Gio were running hard when they got their opportunities. Some of those receivers that got carries got their opportunities, and so they kept us in good, manageable situations and allowed us to play how we want to play.
Coach, is this the type of balanced attack you want? I mean, Joe Burrow passed for 36 times, and then Mixon had, 30? You guys had 34 runs total overall. Is this the type of balanced offense you envisioned going into the season?
It is, but the key is we still got to start faster than what we did today. For them to get points on the board first, we got to get that corrected. And that's really in all three phases for us. And because otherwise, we played the type of game we want to play. We got to start faster and jump out to an earlier lead.
How good did it feel to see Joe Mixon have the game he did? I know it's been taking a while for him to break out. How good did that see?
It's great for him, and for a lot of these guys that are so unselfish, they don't always get the stats they want every single week, but that's really what this team is made of, a bunch of unselfish guys. And for a guy like Joe Mixon that hasn't necessarily gone the way he hoped the first 3 weeks, and that's not on him, that's on everybody. So for him to be rewarded and have the 3 touchdowns and the big long runs, and that's what we expect to see from our offense.
Zach, Joe became the first rookie quarterback in NFL history to throw for 300 or more yards in 3 straight games. What's enabled him to kind of be successful so early in his career?
So much chemistry with the receivers, as we get going through every week. Every week is so critical for us just in terms of the overall chemistry of our team. So he's getting a much better feel for all these receivers. We got several new receivers that didn't play here last year that we're getting a feel for, how do we utilize them best? When the run game does what it does, it takes the pressure off that to where we can take some completions and some shots and play actions. And again, I thought the offensive line did a tremendous job today. They kept him clean. They had some great blocks in the run game, tight ends as well, receivers as well. Just all the things that we talked about correcting last week coming off the field against Philly. I thought our guys were so dialed in this week. It was our best week of practice we've had in 2 years here. The energy was tremendous. The guys took that to the field and made it count.
Zach, what can you do, if anything, to get – okay, sorry, Zach. What can you do, if anything, to get A.J. Green going? I realized he was banged up a little bit. It looked like today on his wrist maybe. But what can you do to get him more involved somehow in this offense, even though you did win today?
Yeah, there was opportunities where we called things that were designed to go to him, where the ball just went other places for explosive plays. And that's the thing, and I talked to all these guys on offense. We're not going to worry about guys getting their touches and their targets. There's enough weapons to where we can win football games, and there might be games where you have 1 catch for 3 yards, and there might be games where you have 10 for 150. And again, just going back to the unselfish players and high-character guys we got on this team, they understand that. They just want to win, whatever that takes. 550 yards and you got 1 catch. AJ was as happy as anybody else in that locker room. And so, again, his time will come.
What did you think about Alex Redmond's performance?
Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
What did you think about Alex Redmond's performance in his first start this year?
That one's a little harder for me right now. That's when I got to see the tape. And when you're calling the plays, you're just thinking about the next play. And it was hard for me to assess, specifically one offensive line.
With talking about AJ, the guy that has been stepping up, Tyler Boyd, what about his performance today?
He's been consistent. That's what TV is. He brings it every single day. Into the meetings, into the practice field. He's been consistent every game. He's a reliable target for Joe. He gets where he's supposed to be on time. He can separate against any DB in this league. And, so, again, he's been dependable since I walked in the door here.
Zach, as you guys were trying to figure out ways to get the run game going this week, how much did you look at just scheming up more opportunities, doing different things, whether it was, we saw the reverses, the jets, was that a big part of what you felt you had to do to kick the run game into gear?
No, we felt like we left, probably 75, 80 yards on the field last week just because of lack of details. And so, again, we're not going to overreact to any one game. We know where we're lacking and where we can be better. Scheme sometimes changes from opponent to opponent, so you see a couple different things this week. But, again, we felt like we left a ton of yards on the field last week. But, again, it was much improved this week, and I'm excited to watch the tape and get a chance to see who really helped us there.
Is that beyond the obvious? Why did everything work in the third quarter?
Just playing complementary football. Our defense was getting stops. Offense started the half scoring. That's a big thing for us to come out the gate and score, and then for the defense to immediately get a stop. And so now you're scoring points on successive possessions there. The defense is getting the stops. You get a chance to start to build that lead. That's not something we've had the opportunity to do very much of. And so, again, just goes back to complementary football, all three phases working together. This was really the first game we were able to put that together for all 4 quarters. It's not just the running back. It takes everybody. And the guys really bought in, had a tremendous week, did a lot of extras on their own to help prepare for this game. And this is what the payoff looks like.
It took you to week 13 last season to get your first victory, and it was very emotional for you and the locker room. Does this victory feel a lot different? It seems different for you.
We've been expecting to win, and so this is the first game we finished, and that's all it is. It's not the same. Last year when you get to 13 weeks, man, you really do feel that, and so we've expected to win every single week. So this isn't the same feeling because we've expected this to come, and we know there's more coming around the horizon.
Zach, Joe should really 4 games in should be, that's really the end of his preseason. Now he's through the first quarter of his regular season. I mean, what is that like to see Burrow's development so far, and what do you make of his first quarter of NFL football?
Yeah, he's not a rookie. I don't even think about that because it doesn't feel like there's a rookie. He doesn't act like a rookie. He's in command. Guys believe in him. Those guys around him are really stepping up, and he's becoming a real leader on this football team.
And what does it do for Joe to finally get that first win as well?
It gets the monkey off your back a little bit. That's the truth. You got to get that first win of the season. And, it just a lot of the small things that pop up over the weeks when you're not winning, they add up. And so to get that first win, everybody gets that pressure off of them a little bit. Now we can just free up and go play ball.
Guys, last question for Coach.
Coach, what did you tell him at halftime? I mean, obviously the self-destruction. It wasn't that the Jaguars were stopping you. It was that you're stopping yourself. What kind of things did you tell them at halftime for them to just adjust the way they did in the second half?
Oh, nothing. Outside of that 2-minute drive there, I thought that we played pretty well on defense in the first half. And offensively, we knew we scored and got called for holding call and had to kick the field goal and then got down to the inch-yard line. Outside of that first 3 and out, we really felt like we were in total control there. So, again, it's just not panicking. You got 30 more minutes of football to play. You get the ball first. We knew what we were capable of, and just glad our guys really answered the bell and came out and did a great job.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Jesse Bates
Hey guys, here's Joe.
Joe, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Go ahead with your questions.
Joe, once the offense took themselves off the schedule, you guys were beating yourselves with mistakes and penalties and everything. Once that happened, that got over that, scored every possession in the second half. How frustrating was it to be in that mode where you can beat on these guys, but then you're making mistakes?
It wasn't too frustrating. We knew what was happening, and we knew that if we executed the way we're capable of, then they weren't going to be able to stop us. And we just kept that mindset. And we talked about it at halftime. We were the only ones that had stopped ourselves all day. So we came out in the second half and performed the way that we were supposed to.
When you roll up 300 yards passing and 205 yards rushing, and it's pretty even Steven in terms of play calling, is that the type of balance that you're looking for as a quarterback?
Yeah. The O-line played really, really well today. They've taken a lot of heat the last couple of weeks. And, I was super happy for those guys to have the game that they did today. And they're going to continue to build on it. I know they are.
Joe, you're the first quarterback in NFL, a rookie quarterback in NFL history to throw for 300 yards passing in at least 3 games. How does that make you feel?
We got the win. That's all I care about. The last 2 we didn't win. So feels good to win. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win football games. Like I said, I'll throw it 0 or 100 times. I'll throw for 7 yards or 500. Doesn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm. To that point, 36 passing attempts for you, 34 running attempts from the team. Is that the type of balanced offense you guys envision on having?
Yeah, it is. And, Joe played really well today. O-line played really well today. And, that enabled us to have some success with play action as well. So it was a well-balanced attack that we hope to continue.
Joe, when did you allow yourself to let it sit in that this was going to be your first win? Was it when you kneeled down, or was it before that?
When we finally recovered that onside, I was looking at the clock. I was talking to Ryan, and we're like, "Gosh, 12 seconds. That seems like a long time." Everyone had that mindset on the sideline. Then we got out there in victory formation. It felt great.
When Joe Mixon broke off that first big run, you went to celebrate with the offensive linemen. What were you feeling in that moment, and what was your reaction to that big run?
Just trying to give the O-line some juice. I always try to bring some excitement, bring some energy to the offense, and they played great all day, and I was just trying to celebrate with them.
Were you more comfortable in the pocket today than you've been in the previous weeks? And if you were, how does that impact your performance?
I wouldn't say more comfortable. The O-line played great today and gave me a lot of time, so I was able to, extend plays and then go through all my progressions. But I wouldn't say more comfortable. I felt comfortable the last 2 weeks as well.
First off, did you really say gosh to Ryan Finley?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, you have thrown for 300 plus at least the last 3 games. What's allowed you to be so comfortable so early in your career?
I think Zach has done a great job of asking what I'm comfortable with and calling those plays. And he understands what I like in certain situations. We have a meeting the night before every week that, I go through my top 3 calls in every situation that we have, and he calls them 1, 2, 3. So he's been doing a great job of calling plays. And then, we have great players on the outside that, understand zone coverage, understand what we're trying to do with every single play.
Joe, it was your first NFL win. What was it like in the locker room afterwards, just celebrating with the guys?
It was a lot of fun. But, it's one game. There's 12 more. So, we're going to enjoy this for 5 hours and then come back to work tomorrow, correct the mistakes, and move on to Baltimore.
You said after your first touchdown pass, you didn't really care where the ball went. I think you said your mom might get it. After your first win, is there any kind of special presentation? Is the ball going somewhere? Is there anything commemorative you might do?
It's going back in the ball bag. You only get so many good balls that, I'm very particular about the balls that I throw. So it's going right back in the game ball bag. We'll be using it again.
Joe, it seemed like you were able to go play action really kind of heavy for the first time all year. You look real comfortable doing it. I guess that's every quarterback's wish, right? To be able to go play action, I would imagine.
Yeah, and everything on offense was working today, and that enabled the play action to be effective.
When you run the ball like that and the play action, guys are actually biting on the play action instead of just pinning their ears back and not even respecting the play action. How different does that make your life?
Yeah, and even in drop back today, the O-line was stoning them at the line and giving me a lot of time. It was awesome all day. It really was.
On the first touchdown throw to Mixon, it looked like you said something to him coming out of the huddle right before the swing pass. Just to use a
yeah, I'll leave that on the field. I think it helped him score though.
Did you guys make a concerted effort to get him the ball via the air? I think he caught 6 balls.
No, not really. I think, personally, I just did a better job of taking what the defense gave me and not pushing to push the ball down the field. He was doing a great job of understanding his protection assignments and getting out early if his guy didn't come. And when we started pushing the ball down the field a little bit, they started to back off, and then Joe was open in the checkdowns.
Joe, how surprised were you when Miles Jack came down with that ball in the end zone?
I'm very surprised. Yeah, very surprised.
Tyler Boyd seems to be your go-to guy. I mean, I know you're a read the defense, go through progressions, but you feel really, really comfortable, obviously, with Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, like I've said before, he does a great job of, just working to get open. He's always working. He's always doing something at the top of a route or, something if something breaks down, he's always trying to get open in zone and man. So he's just always working, and it's great to see.
Joe, you had a lot of, successful plays with guys all over the field, whether it be Boyd, Mixon, whoever. What's been the thing missing with AJ? Is it just certain plays not going to him, or he hasn't had, you guys haven't had a big play yet, really?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to, watch the film and see what the defense was doing to us. We're just happy with the win. I know AJ's happy. I'm not gonna let a play that somebody did or didn't make affect my decision making. I have faith in all of our receivers. So if the defense shows me one thing, I'm going to throw it to the spot that I'm supposed to, and our guys are going to make plays for me. I have faith in all of our guys.
Joe, you said that you felt comfortable the last few weeks now, but how much momentum is there within your play and then getting a win and just kind of trying to get something rolling now?
We feel it. We feel a lot of momentum right now. We're excited about where we are. Obviously there's some things to correct, but we had a great week of practice this week, and I think that's why we won the game. And we're gonna have to continue that to next week. It's the NFL. There's no weeks off. We got Baltimore coming up. It's gonna be a tough game. Excited to play.
All right, last question.
What was the crowd? Sorry, Shrami. We'll see. What was the crowd like, Joe? Did they, were they with you? Did they welcome you? What did it sense like for you out there? I know there weren't that many, but
yeah, it was exciting to have some real people in the stands. The last couple weeks, without fans, just felt a little off, and to have some home fans in the stands felt great. Felt good to have cheering going on when you make a play. It felt like football again.
All right, Joe. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks.